This is Fluent English Journey Podcast.
From Speak English with Nora. Welcome back, English learners. I'm Nora, and I have a question that might make you uncomfortable today.
And I'm Ethan. Oh no, what kind of question are we starting with? But seriously, I'm excited about today's topic because it's something we all struggle with.
Here's my question. Are you wasting your life? I know, it sounds harsh, but stick with me here.
You know, that question hit me right in the gut. Because honestly, sometimes I feel like I am wasting precious time, and I bet our listeners feel the same way.
Exactly. And that's why today we're talking about how to stop wasting life and start living more intentionally. Whether you're scrolling through social media for hours or putting off your dreams, we've all been there.
The good news is that recognizing the problem is the first step to solving it. So let's dive into this together and figure out how to make every moment count.
So, Ethan, when I say wasting life, what comes to mind for you?
That's a loaded question. For me, wasting life means spending time on things that don't add value or meaning to my existence, like mindlessly watching TV for hours or staying in situations that drain my energy.
Yes, you just hit on something important there. The word mindlessly. I think that's the key difference between living intentionally and just existing.
What do you mean by that?
Well, think about it. How many times do you pick up your phone without even thinking about it? Or agree to plans you don't really want to do because you're on autopilot?
Oh, wow, you're calling me out here. I probably check my phone like 50 times a day without any real purpose. It's become this automatic reflex.
Automatic reflex. That's exactly what I'm talking about. When we're running on autopilot, we're not making conscious choices about how to spend our time.
So you're saying that wasting life isn't necessarily about doing bad things, but about doing things without purpose or awareness.
Bingo. You can watch TV mindfully if it's something you choose to do for relaxation. But if you're just channel surfing because you're bored, that's when it becomes a waste.
That's a game changer way to think about it. It's not about being productive every single second, but about being intentional with our choices.
Exactly. And speaking of choices, let's talk about the biggest time waster of our generation, social media.
Oh no, here we go. Are you about to tell me that my Instagram scrolling habit is ruining my life?
Well, maybe not ruining, but it might be stealing more time than you realize. Did you know the average person spends over 2 hours a day on social media?
2 hours a day? That's like 14 hours a week. I could learn a new skill with that time.
Or read books, exercise, connect with real people, pursue hobbies. The possibilities are endless when you put it in perspective like that.
But here's the thing that gets me. Social media isn't inherently bad, right? I mean, I keep in touch with friends and family through it.
You're absolutely right, Ethan. Social media can be a wonderful tool for connection and creativity. The problem starts when it becomes a mindless habit instead of a conscious choice.
So, how do we know when we've crossed that line?
Great question. Okay, here are some red flags. Do you reach for your phone the moment you wake up? Do you scroll when you're eating alone? Do you feel anxious when your phone battery dies?
Ouch. I'm guilty of at least 2 of those.
Hey, no judgment here. We're all works in progress. The important thing is recognizing these patterns so we can change them.
You know what I've noticed? When I'm mindlessly scrolling, I often feel empty afterward. Like I've consumed all this information, but none of it was meaningful.
That empty feeling is your brain telling you something important. It's saying, this isn't feeding my soul.
So, what's the alternative? How do we figure out what actually matters to us?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I think it starts with getting quiet and really listening to yourself.
What do you mean by getting quiet?
Well, when was the last time you sat in silence for 10 minutes? No phone, no music, no distractions. Just you and your thoughts.
Honestly, I can't remember. That sounds kind of scary, actually.
And that's exactly why it's so important. We've become so uncomfortable with silence that we fill every moment with noise and stimulation.
But in that silence, that's where we can hear what our hearts are really telling us, right?
Exactly. That's where you discover what actually energizes you versus what drains you. That's where you realize you'd rather be painting than watching Netflix.
Or that you'd rather have deep conversations with friends instead of small talk at parties you don't want to attend.
Now you're getting it. It's about aligning your actions with your authentic values, not what society tells you should matter.
Speaking of values, I think one thing that makes people feel like they're wasting their lives is comparison. Looking at what everyone else is doing and feeling behind.
Comparison is the thief of joy, and social media makes it so much worse because everyone's showing their highlight reel.
Right? You see someone's vacation photos and think, I should be traveling more. Or someone gets a promotion and you question your career choices.
But here's what we forget. Everyone's journey is different. What looks like success for someone else might feel empty for you.
That's so true. Success isn't one size fits all. For some people, it's climbing the corporate ladder. For others, it's having time to volunteer or be with family.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to define success for yourself, based on your own values and dreams, not someone else's.
So let's get practical here. If someone's listening to this and thinking, okay, I want to stop wasting my life, but where do I start? What would you tell them?
Oh, I love this question. First thing, start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life in one day.
What does start small look like?
Maybe it's putting your phone in another room for 1 hour each evening, or taking 5 minutes each morning to think about your intentions for the day.
I like that. Setting intentions. Instead of just letting the day happen to you, you're making conscious choices about how to spend your time.
Exactly. And here's another practical tip. Try the energy audit.
Energy audit. That sounds official.
It's actually pretty simple. For 1 week, pay attention to what activities energize you and what activities drain you. Write it down if you need to.
So, had coffee with Sarah, felt energized. Watched 3 hours of TV, felt sluggish.
Perfect example. Once you see the patterns, you can start making different choices.
And the beautiful thing is, it's not about perfection. You don't have to eliminate all the draining activities, but maybe you can reduce them and add more energizing ones.
Yes, it's about progress, not perfection. Maybe instead of scrolling for an hour before bed, you read for 30 minutes and scroll for 30 minutes.
You know what else I think helps? Having something you're working toward. A goal or a dream that excites you.
Oh, absolutely. When you have something meaningful to work toward, it's easier to say no to time-wasting activities. But let's dive deeper into this because I think this might be the most important thing we talk about today.
Really? Why do you think it's so crucial?
Think about it this way. When you don't have a clear direction, every distraction looks appealing. It's like being in a boat without a compass. You'll drift wherever the current takes you.
That's such a powerful metaphor. So having meaningful goals is like having that compass. It gives you a sense of direction and purpose.
Exactly. And here's what I find fascinating. When people have something they're genuinely excited about, they naturally become more disciplined. Not because they're forcing themselves, but because they want to protect their time for what matters.
Oh, I've experienced this. When I was learning guitar, I stopped watching so much TV because I wanted to practice. It didn't feel like sacrifice. It felt like choice.
That's the magic right there. It felt like choice. When your goals align with your values, discipline becomes easier because you're moving towards something you actually want.
But here's what I think trips people up. They think their goals have to be these massive, life-changing things, like I'm going to become a millionaire or I'm going to change the world.
Yes, and that pressure can be paralyzing. The truth is, meaningful doesn't mean massive. It just means it matters to you.
Can you give us some examples of what you mean?
Absolutely. Maybe your meaningful goal is to learn Spanish so you can connect with your neighbor who doesn't speak much English, or to write letters to your grandchildren that they can read when they're older.
Those are beautiful examples. Or maybe it's mastering a new recipe every month so you can bring more joy to family dinners.
Or learning to garden so you can grow your own vegetables and feel more connected to the earth. These aren't small goals, they're deeply personal goals.
You know what I'm realizing? The best goals seem to be the ones that connect us, either to other people, to our values, or to something bigger than ourselves.
That's profound, Ethan. Connection gives meaning. Isolation makes us feel like we're wasting time.
So, how does someone figure out what their meaningful goals should be, especially if they feel lost or stuck?
That's such an important question because so many people feel exactly that way. I think it starts with paying attention to what makes you come alive.
What makes you come alive? Can you explain what you mean by that?
Sure. Think about moments when time seems to fly by because you're so engaged, when you feel energized rather than drained, when you think, I could do this all day.
For me, that happens when I'm having deep conversations with people or when I'm learning something new. Those activities just feel right.
Exactly. Those feelings are clues pointing toward meaningful goals. Maybe your goal could be starting a weekly discussion group or taking an online course in something fascinating.
Or here's another approach. Think about your regrets, but flip them into goals.
Ooh, that's interesting. What do you mean?
Well, if you regret not staying in touch with old friends, maybe your goal is to reach out to one person from your past each month. If you regret not pursuing art, maybe it's spending 30 minutes drawing each week.
That's brilliant, because regrets often point to our unlived values. They're showing us what we wish we had prioritized.
And here's something crucial I want our listeners to understand. Your goals can change, and that's perfectly okay.
Oh, thank you for saying that. There's this myth that once you choose a goal, you're stuck with it forever. But we grow, we change, we discover new things about ourselves.
Right, the goal isn't to find the perfect, permanent goal. It's to always have something meaningful pulling you forward.
Like a river always flowing towards something, even if the landscape changes along the way.
And here's what I love about meaningful goals. They create positive momentum. When you accomplish something that matters to you, it builds confidence to tackle the next meaningful thing.
Yes, success breeds success. And suddenly, you're not just avoiding time-wasting activities, you're actively creating a life you love.
You know what else happens? Other people notice when you're living with purpose. There is an energy about people who are working towards something meaningful.
They become inspiring to be around, and that inspiration spreads. Your meaningful goals don't just change your life, they can positively impact everyone around you.
So, to our listeners, what's calling to you right now? What's that whisper in your heart that says, I wish I could, or I've always wanted to?
Don't overthink it. Don't worry about whether it's impressive enough or practical enough. Just listen to what genuinely excites you and take one small step toward it.
Because here's the truth. A life with meaningful goals isn't a perfect life, but it's a life with direction, and direction makes all the difference.
You know, Ethan, as we're talking about this, I'm realizing that stopping the waste of life is really about waking up.
Waking up, what do you mean?
waking up to the fact that time is our most precious resource. We can make more money, but we can't make more time.
That's profound and kind of scary when you think about it that way.
It doesn't have to be scary. It can be empowering. When you really understand that your time is limited and valuable, you become more selective about how you spend it.
Like becoming the CEO of your own life. You wouldn't let employees waste company time, so why let yourself waste your own time?
I love that analogy. You become more intentional, more purposeful, more alive.
And I think that's what people really want when they say they don't want to waste their lives. They want to feel alive, engaged, like they're making a difference.
Whether that difference is in their own life, their family's life, or the world at large, the scale doesn't matter as much as the intention behind it.
Well, my friends, as we wrap up today's conversation, I hope you're feeling inspired to take a closer look at how you're spending your precious time.
Remember, you don't need to transform everything overnight. Start with small, intentional choices and build from there.
Whether it's putting your phone away during meals, setting clear intentions for your day, or pursuing a dream you've been putting off, every small step counts.
And please, share your thoughts in the comments below. What's one thing you want to stop wasting time on? Or what's one meaningful goal you want to work toward?
We'd love to hear from you and support each other on this journey of living more intentionally. Remember, life is happening right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now.
So make it count. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next podcast where we'll continue exploring topics that help you grow both your English skills and your life.
Until then, stay curious, stay intentional, and keep practicing your English.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos to keep improving your English. See you next time.